Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently working on our economy here. We are pretty negative in our economy, there's no doubt about that. Do we want to raise our taxes even more? I think for the moment, since we don't have much credit built up, there's not necessarily a huge amount of point to that, especially since we just jumped positive. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's a huge amount of point to that. We do need to get our economy a little bit more stable. Okay, this is... that's because we're not fully constructing. And the reason for that is because there's 28 weeks left in our queue. Okay, so this is what I was talking about last episode, where I was saying I really hope that they fix the way that this total time left is calculated. Because the way that this works, and I've mentioned this before, but the way that this works is it just looks at the last item in the queue and says how long until that's done. That's how long is in the queue. Sure, but that doesn't take into account the fact that things are built in parallel, right? So if we were to move this to top priority, boom, suddenly our total time left is now 13 weeks instead of 28. And now things are going to get auto-queued, because it requires that it be 26 weeks or less in the queue to auto-queue. It's very strange, but yeah, there we go. Now it queued up a whole bunch of extra things. I don't know. It's weird. I feel like that needs to be worked on, the implementation for that. So hopefully that does get worked on. It's just a weird way to calculate it, in my opinion, because it will end up meaning that you often, for a couple of weeks, drop construction capacity. It's just an inefficient way to do it, right? We don't really need influence, so I guess this is fine. Cool. So let's take a quick look at what we've got going on here. Insufficient taxation capacity in another location. So that was in Ohio, California, and Pennsylvania. Now, I believe we just built one in Ohio and California. But I guess that's okay. For the moment, we'll leave this be. I want to check in on our railway situation. This does appear to be decent. Oh, I did also notice in between episodes that our glassworks is on manual glass blowing. We should move this down to automatic bottle blowers. This will consume a lot more oil, but that's fine. We've got tons of oil available. So that'll be okay. We'll need to construct the oil production, of course, but that's fine. Steel, electricity, and explosives are all expensive. I'm actually surprised that we already need power plants, considering we just built a whole bunch of them in California. But okay, I guess we need a few. Sure. It's not, I guess, hugely shocking. We should consider building an additional location for power plants to go in, perhaps in, like, Texas. Let's sort by peasants. Yeah, actually Mexico would be good. So we'll build in 10 there, but I'm having those low priority. We're keeping them down here. Although I'm going to move up 5. There we go. So we'll move those up, and then there's these 6. But I just want another location for our power plants to be able to expand from, right? So that's the idea there. We're going to set these up to auto-expand since we started up a new location. Cool. Okay, so our constructions are ongoing. We are spending a little more money than we're making. We want to get this turned around. There's no doubt about that, but it'll be a little bit before this is ready to go. Let's see. Market access in Pennsylvania is at 99% right now. So let's just go ahead and work on a railroad there, but everywhere else it got dealt with. Pennsylvania, Ohio, and California for taxation capacity. Noted. So we'll get that dealt with. Cool. So that should all be under control in theory. And we've got all of these constructions underway, right? So that'll be fine. We're actually working on all 4 pages simultaneously. Remarkable. So this is one of those situations that I was talking about where we actually do have some wasted construction capacity here. It's not very much in this case, right? Now it's a decent amount. And as the weeks go by, it's going to continue to not utilize this construction for a decent amount of time. Now, in this particular situation, it's relatively okay. So yeah, see, it's just it's not using optimal construction here because of the way this is calculated. But I'm okay with it because it is allowing us to spend down our credit for the moment. Because we're negative with our constructions, it's okay for right now. But under most circumstances, I don't like it. Alaska Treaty Port. Interesting. Now, what is our infamy at? We're at 42.9. I would like to think about attacking Oregon again. So, in order to do this, our economy is going to be awkward, right? Because we would want to turn up our military wages, and we would want to turn up our military buildings as well. Down to siege artillery here, bicycle messengers, and field hospitals. Something like this. Now, we're going to run a deficit. Almost certainly, while we're doing this. And that's okay. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take Oregon as our starting play here. So Russia just lost to Britain. 1362 to our 4830. So yeah, that doesn't feel particularly bad. Let's go ahead and try this. So we're going to do a Conquer State Oregon play. And we're going to raise up Thomas Jackson, who's going to go over to the Brunswick front, and Ulysses Grant, who's going to go over to the Washington front. Okay. And now we'll see if anybody decides to join. But we're going to want to add these additional war goals, for sure. British Columbia. And we will add in Washington. And we will add in New Brunswick. Okay. So that's looking good. And how much infamy did that give us? 77.8. Okay, cool. So that's going to be reducing, of course, over time. Excellent. Austria rivaled us. Hilarious. We'll see if they end up actually doing anything. So far, it's looking like nobody will. Oregon is currently fearful. And realistically, I wish that it gave us the option of not accepting a back down. But I understand why it exists. From this perspective, ignoring the back down makes sense. From the perspective of Oregon, we would not want that, right? So essentially that would mean that would be a transfer of power towards the great powers, functionally. And yeah, look at how negative we are, 530k. I'm not shocked about that, but we're positive right now if we weren't constructing. So that's very, very good. We will continue our construction at absolute top speed for the time being. Okay, how are things doing in our market access? Oh, we've got this trade route that's unproductive. We'll definitely get rid of that. Yeah, for the time being, we need to continue to expand our economy. Our economy isn't really... Yeah, Oregon back down. I'm not shocked about that. We need to expand our economy here, but for now that Oregon back down, we can get rid of our military wages, and we can turn this all back down, right? Beautiful. And we can focus on our economy for a little bit. It needs to get expanded up to the point where it can really support this level of construction. We're not at that point right now. Cool. So our railway in Pennsylvania is going to finish up. We are not currently having any major issues except for ironclad's input goods shortages. Okay, let me check in on our shipyards here. So as far as our ironclad production goes, these are on extensive military shipbuilding. These are on military shipbuilding. Okay. Cash reserves are dropping here. That's interesting. Yeah, we just need to get more people in here, actually. And drop the price of electricity and engines. That's going to be a big part of that. So electricity is going to drop as we expand our power plants here. We do have a motor industry expansion going in Ohio. I wouldn't mind getting that substantially more. Just more. So maybe in like Oklahoma here, since we've already got 7, we can queue up a bunch of these. So taking this up to like 45. There we go. Oil has been discovered in Rio Grande. Did we already have oil there? I don't know if we did. We did. Okay, cool. So we'll definitely encourage that trend and get some migration attraction. That's looking good. Market access is low in Mexico right now. We should definitely queue that up at the beginning of the list. Partisan papers, huh? The Whig Party has momentum. No, it does not. The Working Men's Party is going to be definitely winning this. And we'll take the paper mill throughput. Thank you very much. So yeah, price of electricity and engines are the core problem right now. We have a bunch of motor industries being built in Oklahoma. Oil has been discovered in Ontario, which we don't control. That said, we need to look at Oregon. Do we have any railway here? We do not, and we should build one level of railway for auto expansion purposes in Oregon. There we go. And we should also make sure that it has at least one level of like everything, right? So I want to sort like this. Okay, so we need a wheat farm. What else would we need there? That's actually kind of it. Just checking in on the rest of these. Yeah, it's got all of that. Okay, looks good. We're going to want to, of course, integrate this state. So we need to go to State Actions, Incorporate State, and there we go. Cool. So that's all looking good. Our election is going to be soon. Fantastic. So we're going to need to go after Mexico eventually. There's 2 states that we can go after here. There's a lot of potential great powers that would be interested in joining that. Rubber has been discovered in Veracruz. That is a big deal. Okay. That is a very big deal. We need to get all of that rubber plantation built right now. We can build it in Mexico and in Veracruz. So we're going to get those queued up. I queued those up at the bottom of the list, and that seems to be okay. I think that'll be fine. Like, are we working on everything down here? Not currently, but we will very soon. So I think it's okay. We'll get all of those rubber plantations built up. Oil rush subsidies in Rio Grande are dropping off. That's to be expected. And economically, how are we doing right now? Well, we're continuing to skyrocket our economy. So that's looking great. How are we doing in terms of our peasant numbers? It's really good. We've got 4.72. Mechanized farming was just unlocked, and I would like to go for something like maybe the steam turbine. Yeah, that'll make our power plants more efficient. I think that'll be good. We'll work on that, and we do want to go in and change these over to tractors. That will increase the power the engine requirements. Mechanized slaughterhouses seem fine. Electric fences, yes. Publicly traded is okay. Anything else over here? Yeah, we're going to have to get these switched over from Oregon. So that's fine. We'll go to steam trawlers and publicly traded. The rest of that looks okay. What do we got in here? Anything that needs work? Looks like that's all good. Except the Arts Academy can go to, like, photographic art and independent artists. And I guess we can auto-expand that? Sure. And we're going to need to set these up for auto-expansion as well, right? So these that were changed need to get set up for auto-expansion. I wish we could expand our gold mines. We can't. But there we go. Cool. So that's all good. Mechanized agriculture was successfully completed. And we're working on our motor industries very heavily right now. Righteous government of 100 after that election looks good. Ammunition is currently not great, and we've got some market access issues. So let's go ahead and build an additional 3 in Mexico. We're building one in Oregon right now. We need one in New York and one in Pennsylvania. Cool. So that'll all be good. Insufficient taxation capacity right now in Ohio. Okay. We'll deal with that. The mechanization of farming. Plus 3 minimum wealth. Cool. Sounds good to me. Segregation is going to continue to erode. I would like to get rid of it altogether. That would be ideal. But for now, that's not looking to be too likely. The question is, when are we going to go after Mexico? I think we're going to let our infamy... Oh, wow, that's already 52.5. Oil's been discovered in Manitoba. Sure. I think we'll go after this after it drops below 50. That's going to be our goal. Cool. So our construction is proceeding very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. All of those motor industries in Oklahoma are going to add a lot to the economy here. Like, we're about to have a bunch of those finish. Beautiful. So we're at plus 38% economy, or rather throughput bonus here already. And we're continuing to build more, right? This is going to start producing a lot of engines. Cool. We no longer have an input goods shortage of engines. That's a good sign. We still have one of ironclads, sure. But we do need to continue to work on our railways. Oklahoma is going to need 3 for now. Ohio is going to need 1. California is going to need 1. So we'll get those all queued up. Actually, Oklahoma is going to need 4. There we go. Cool. The rest of these should get sorted in theory. Let's see, we're building 2 here. That is correct. Okay, looks good. Our railways should be auto-expanding. They're kind of not. Now can we afford to get elastics now that we have all of that extra rubber? Maybe. We'll try it. We'll see how that works. We are running a rubber and silk input goods shortage. So we would need synthetics plants for that. We have 4 in Arkansas. I'm going to bring that up to, like... Well, we could bring it up to around here. That'll help with our silk. Not so much with our rubber. So we're going to need to probably import rubber. That's unsurprising. We can import a little bit from France. But there's not a lot that we can get, realistically. So looking at our rubber plantations, where were those? Down here? I mean, we can definitely still continue to increase all of that. So that looks good. Transportation is actually currently expensive here. Hypothetically, what would transportation look like if we were to swap off of cargo prioritization and into wooden passenger carriages? That would still just absolutely kill the price of transportation. And it would also kill our infrastructure. That's probably not for the best. Okay. Well, that's fine. We are continuing to build a bunch of railways, and we're going to probably need more. And we're definitely going to need more. I'm going to build another one in in Oklahoma, rather. I queued up 5 there. That was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to queue 1. Let's get this moved. There we go. Fantastic. So we can see we're at like negative 200k right now. It's a lot. No doubt about that. What can we do about that? I mean, I would absolutely love to change our taxes down to graduated taxation. That said, that would actually be negative right now, wouldn't it? It would. So we don't actually want to do that. What else would we want to do? Well, we're on protectionism right now. I wouldn't mind going to, like, free trade, potentially. Or, no, this is trade. Hang on. Economic system. We're on interventionism. I wouldn't mind going down to, like, laissez-faire for that capitalist investment pool contribution. That would be very useful. We can't actually do this because the chance must be above 0, which is sad. Another interesting option would be authoritarianism. So, command economy here. That would be a very interesting option. But I don't think that's what we want to go for right now. We're not really set up for it. Okay, so we've got that silk input goods shortage, and engines are currently running an input goods shortage. Pennsylvania has insufficient taxation capacity, so we're going to need to do something about that. And our motor industries in Oklahoma, market access here is currently low. So once our railways finish up, this should get a little bit better. Electricity costs are still pretty high. So we could think about tackling that in, say, this was down in Mexico, right? Yeah, so we could think about tackling that down here. Bringing this up to the cap. It wouldn't actually need plus 50. It would need plus like 42. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. New South Wales has gotten some oil discovered. Good for them. Cool. Our GDP has kind of leveled off a little bit. That's due to input goods shortages and price issues. Unproductive importing from the French for the rubber. Okay, that's fine. We do still have that silk input goods shortage. The question is, how are we doing on those synthetics plants in Arkansas? They're starting to finish up. Cool. So that'll be fine. And we're going to start producing a lot more dye. We should have the ability to produce silk out of synthetics plants, right? Let's see here. Synthetics. Rayon. Ah, we haven't invented the tech yet. Got it. So where's Art Silk? It's down over here. 25 months to research. Sure. Silk is going to be a problem until then. So for the moment, we're going to need to switch off of elastics and just be on craftsman sewing. Actually, non-luxury clothing is probably just better right now. So for the moment, we'll go ahead and do that. Just because we don't really have access. Oh, Serbian people are migrating to New Jersey. Cool. And now we have the combustion engine unlocked. That is going to be a big deal for us economically. So we're going to go through here and find locations like the motor industries. We may do automobile production, like in Oklahoma. I don't think we have much demand for automobiles right now, though. So I think it's completely fine. For our urban centers, we could run public motor carriages and increase the price of transportation if we wanted to. But I don't think that's, strictly speaking, necessary. I would like to go down to the coal-fired plant, but for that, we actually need the steam turbine. So the combustion engine gets us all of this stuff, right? But it doesn't unlock the steam turbine yet. For some reason, I was thinking we got steam turbine, but we did not. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll go on through here and just get what we can done with the combustion engine. Although it's not going to be absolutely everything. That's for sure. So, coming through here, we're on steam donkeys right now. That looks fine. The logging camps can go to chainsaws, so that's okay. The oil rigs can go to combustion oil derricks as well, which we will certainly be happy to have. Okay, market access in Arkansas. That's not surprising. And in Kentucky. Sure, sounds good. We'll get all of that going. So all of this construction is happening. The synthetics plants aren't really going to be all that useful until we get art silk. I was thinking we already had it, but we don't. So, I mean, sure, they'll produce dyes. Oh, hey, we're actually positive right now? Well, that's actually because we're not fully utilizing our construction. For the moment, I'm okay with that. We have a pretty good amount of credit built up, and we should start trying to pay that down. So I'm not going to take any action to more efficiently utilize our construction capacity. For now, it seems okay. Cool. It will queue up again here. Do a promotion, huh? Sure. Go ahead and promote him. Still only 1060. There we go. It's queued back up. Okay, so political agitation has been unlocked. Sure. That's looking good. And we're going to get all these power plants done, but we are going to be switching over to the steam turbine very soon, in like 2 week ticks. I like it. We're actually positive right now, despite actually being at full construction. That's a really good sign. And despite market access being awkward. Okay, I think that we grab art silk here. So we'll get that going. And we definitely want to come in here and change our production method. Not in our motor industries, but in our power plant to coal-fired plants. That's going to suddenly produce roughly double the amount of electricity. So that'll be good. That may drive the price of coal up pretty dramatically, but we should be able to scale up our coal production with no real problem there. Okay, I want to check in on Arkansas. It should be okay-ish, but it really does need one additional queue up. Okay, there we go. That looks good. And with that, it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to start paying down this credit and probably start thinking about attacking down over this way. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Ken Tuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisol, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.